just remind
questions. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Hump Hangouts, episode 144. Today is the 9th of August, 2017, in case you forgot what year it is. We just wanted to say hi before we get started, and obviously we got a couple things we're going to run through, but let's say hi to Marco and Bradley real quick. The other guys are out and about today, taking care of business. So, Marco, how's it going?
I'm good, man. Things are great.
How's the weather? I gotta ask.
Dude, you know, it's Groundhog Day.
Well, it's tough. Someone's got to do it. So
right, somebody's got to live it. Why not?
I can't complain. How about you, Bradley? Are you pretty warm, or how are things going down there?
Oh, it's good. It's a nice sunny day. It's I've been cooped up in my office all damn day though, so it looks nice outside. I don't know how hot it is.
I went out and made myself get out for a walk. I try to do that before Hump Day Hangouts because usually I'm cruising through the afternoon, and then if I don't get up, you know, I end up sitting there for like 3 or 4 hours straight, which is no bueno. So let's see. Something I wanted to touch on real quick before we get going was if you subscribe to the I thought you were shaking your head at me. It's like, no. Right. If you subscribe to the Mastery PR list, you've probably gotten an email about SamCart, and we wanted to follow up with that. If you're not familiar with what SamCart is, it's a payment processing platform. It also can do landing pages, basic landing pages where people go, and if you bought something like the battle plan from us, then that was SamCart. And so we wanted to talk about it real quick because it's interesting. This is obviously a product we use, and there's a really good reason we used it. And so to touch on that real quick, and we're going to send out some emails about this. If you have a course, if you wanted to release a course, if you're thinking, or you have subscription offers, things like that, this is something you should definitely look into. I'm not saying go out and buy it. I'm saying look into it. All right. Make sure it's the right tool for the job. But they've recently, what they did was come out with this kind of basic plan that is really good to get people started and offers a lot of the options that you need. You can't do subscriptions on the basic, but it's really cheap. I think it's like 19 bucks a month. And before it was only $99 and $199 a month. So the reason that we even checked out SamCart was because on those tiers, they didn't offer payment processing charges in addition to their monthly service. So a lot of platforms, I'm not going to name names or point fingers, charge a percentage. So you go somewhere and you say, hey, I want to use your product, your software, I want you to process the payments for me, and maybe that's the landing page where you check out. Well, a lot of places charge a percentage, and it can be 5%, which really starts to add up as you do this. So imagine if you were having to pay 5% for your, on top of your consulting fees or to your local clients who are trying to pay you, right? I mean, you're already paying PayPal. Now you got to pay another fee on top of that. So, anyways, for anyone out there, it's not perfect. We've had bumps as SamCart has grown, but they've really gotten it together over, Bradley, how long has it been? Like 2 years now that they've been out?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 years. And so in the last year, I think I feel personally, having worked with them a lot, it's really come together a lot, and we're starting to switch things over to it. So anyways, that's just wanted to give a little history behind that and what we feel about that. And what do you guys think about it?
Me? Look, we started using SamCart because if anybody getting in the digital product business, typically people want to go put their stuff on JVZoo, which is where we started, and we still have a lot of stuff on JVZoo, but they rape you. As far as when you pay in PayPal fees and JVZoo fees, you're looking at 10% right off the top of whatever you make, and that sucks. And so that's part of the reason we went over to SamCart, because it's like we started using for SamCart, especially for our higher end products. Because it saves us so much money that we just are pissing away in flat fees. And so that's kind of why we did it. And they've had some growing pains as well, SamCart, but there's a lot of development behind it. I actually met the two guys, Brian and his brother, at a Perry Marshall event a few months back. And they've got a ton of development behind it and stuff. And we've been patient with them as well. I think it's a good tool. It's something that, thank God I've got Adam and Chris and Hernan that handle all that stuff, because I don't have to mess with it. But it seems to be working well, and that's why we continue to use it.
Yeah, definitely. And after playing around with it, like, it's certainly something one person can handle. We use multiple payment gateways, things like that. So it's handy to have. And again, I just say it's worth checking out. If you think you need something like this, just check it out. And it's cool that they've added the big deal with this is that they've added the basic plan, because before it was starting at $100, which is kind of a hurdle for some people, $100 a month. And so they've really dropped it down so people can check it out. So. All right, a couple more quick announcements before we get going. I mentioned it a minute ago. If you're new to Semantic Mastery, please check out the battle plan. I'm going to pop the link on here in a minute. We got a coupon code for you to save 75 bucks. If you haven't, unfortunately, Roman's not here. I like having Roman here so I can point to him when I say this. But for done-for-you services and some free tools, head over to serpspace.com. Again, you can sign up for free and check it out. And then obviously we refer to there a lot for link building, syndication networks, all sorts of stuff.
Can we brag about the new interface, the new design?
Oh yeah, I feel bad. Yeah, we go over there and just check it out. It's freaking beautiful.
Yeah, guys, this looks really, really nice, guys. Go check it out.
Yeah, so Roman, Tony, the whole team has been really hard at work to revamp the front end to make it easier and also easier for people. You know, it's not to understand and to be a little bit more educational about what the products are. And then we're going to be expanding on that as we go, you know, making it easier to decide, okay, is this the right one? If so, what's best practice? How do I apply this? All right, things like that. And then on that note too, speaking of education, if you have questions throughout the week, you can obviously pop them onto the event page. You can use the link we send out, or you could, first though, check out support.semanticmastery.com. All right, we have our FAQ over there with a lot of the commonly asked questions.
I need to jump in with something. I've seen 2 posts already on the event page today about the updated battle plan. We already sent all that out, correct?
Yeah, we did. So I'll say if you you purchased the battle plan and you did not receive an email with the update link, then send an email into support and we'll get you straightened out, because we emailed it out. So it might have, you know, skipped your inbox, might have had an inboxing issue, but just let us know and we'll get you straightened out. Because
I think we pushed that out 2 weeks ago, didn't we? Yeah, and that's got all the updates in it, guys. So again, if you don't have the updated battle plan, it could have been an inboxing issue or something like that. That's certainly possible. Just reach out at support and we'll get you squared away, guys. It's available now, okay?
I personally wrote that email, so I know it went out. So yeah, just let us know and we'll help you out.
Sweet.
All right, Bradley, did you have something else you wanted to touch on?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. All right, well, I'm just going to ask a question. I expect certain answers, but I'm going to ask a question for you guys to comment on the page, and I'll start with questions, and then I'll come back to it. But kind of just some mindset stuff. I kind of wanted to open today with some mindset stuff, but I don't want to do it. Just a few minutes of that, if you guys are interested. If not, I'm going to just start rolling with questions and keep rolling with questions. But if you guys would rather me just answer questions, great. But if you want to hear a little soapbox spiel about mindset stuff, I'm happy to do it, because I've got some stuff I'd like to share with you guys, but I'm not going to do it during a Q&A session if you guys don't want to hear it. So post on the event page. In the meantime, I'm going to grab the screen and get started on questions. And if we get enough comments to say you do want to hear it, then I'll do it. If not, I'm just going to keep rolling. Okay. Oh, by the way, guys, we have Syndication Academy update webinar number 14 immediately following this webinar. I always say that I plan on them being short, and they always end up usually about an hour long because I get long-winded during webinars. So I hope it to be a short one. We're not adding any additional properties today, but I got some really cool stuff I want to share with you guys today on the update webinar as well. So make sure you're there, or you can catch the replay. But we're also going to be covering a really cool strategy that I just started testing a few days ago that I've been bragging to my partners about, that's for prospecting, that's just absolutely crushing it. And I'm going to be talking about that on the Syndication Academy update webinar. So if you guys are on part of that, make sure you're there. Again, immediately following this webinar. All right, so I'm going to start with I'm not even going to try. Forgive me for not even attempting to pronounce your name. Hey guys, thanks.
Real quick, Bradley, sorry. I think I was confused and so were they. Were you saying you wanted feedback on whether you should start with mindset, or you were going to say something today?
Well, no, I was just specifically for today. I was asking if you guys wanted to hear some, just like a little brief speech about some mindset stuff.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we already got 4 thumbs up, so I'll leave it up to you. 4?
All right. Let's get to 10. There's 22 people watching right now, live. 25 now. If we can get 10, I'll go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I'm just going to run with questions. And I'm going to answer this one since I already started before I get into it. You guys, hey guys, thanks again for existing. Solid info as always. My question is, how do you guys structure your business? I have partnered up with a buddy for the sales side, and I do SEO. We have wrapped things up a bit, and now he wants to grow a team of cold callers. We pay them 20% recurring out of the monthly retainer, which is starting at $1,000 to bring me down to just $400 a client. So I'm assuming that means your profit would be $400. Now I say profit, but you mean revenue or profit? That's kind of a question that I would ask. But you see, that's not bad though. Like if it's revenue and you've got to perform the services out of that $400, but you know, I'm assuming that that's profit. But again, I don't know that because there's not enough detail in the question. But I'm assuming that that's actual profit. If that's the case, that's really good, actually. That's not bad considering you've got a partner, he's also benefiting, and then you've got cold callers that you're paying a 20% commission to, which is reasonable. You know, anywhere between 20 to 30% is pretty reasonable for, it's about average for salespeople, you know, phone sales, which, by the way, that's one of the hardest parts about running a business, running an agency, guys, is the whole, the prospecting and the sales side of things. Right? At least for me, that's always been one of the most, well, it's not that it's been the most difficult. It's just the thing that I like to do the least. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather do the SEO stuff and that kind of stuff than actually prospect and cold call and then do the sales presentations and all that. I don't particularly like doing it. I'm not bad at it. I just don't like to do it. And so, you know, paying a cold caller to do that kind of stuff, an appointment setter and a salesperson, all of that is a great way to get it done, especially if you're not good at it or you don't like it, like I don't. But, you know, so that's really not a bad price. Now, if you're talking about $400 in revenue, and then you've got to perform whatever services, like, because there's costs, guys, there always is, especially as an agency, there's costs. You got to hire VAs to do work. You've got software, you know, and link building tools and server costs and, you know, all that other kind of stuff. And if you have to take out of your $400 profit, or excuse me, revenue, you have to pay for those types of services, then that's going to cut you down anymore. Although, again, it's still not a bad, that's still not a bad target for, you know, revenue. And let me just explain why I say that. My average client produces about $800 in revenue. And the reason why is because I only have about 12 clients at the moment, because I had really shrunk my agency over the last few years, but now I'm building a whole brand new agency all over again. It's kind of funny. You know, so I have clients that were that were grandfathered into when I first got started, and I was only charging, you know, anywhere between $300 to $500 a month for services. And then I've got clients that, you know, I charge $1,500 a month to $2,000 a month, but those are only, you know, 1 or 2 clients out of the, you know, 12 clients I have. So my average comes out to be about $800 per client. Now, I know that's rather on the low end, but I work with a lot of like smaller contracting companies that are kind of like, you know, less than 10 employees, if that makes sense. So that's not usually like, I don't work with a lot of companies with a lot of big budgets and stuff. So that's not a bad price. And out of that $800 on average that's revenue, not profit. I always, and I've done this since I always started my agency, guys, I would always take 40% of whatever I was making and reinvest it like that. I would just like 40% right off of whatever the monthly is, goes right back into producing, you know, the results. In other words, I would spend 40% to get results. And that would be, you know, VAs, link building packages, or buying expired domains when I was building a lot of PBNs, hosting charges, you know, articles, you know, just all the costs that go into providing the services. I would end up taking 40%. So that would leave me with 60% roughly in profit. And so, you know, that's really not all that bad considering. And so you do the math on that, and that comes out to be what, roughly around the same amount of money that you're getting per client. Okay. And so that's really not a bad deal, at least in my opinion. Now, I know there's other people out there that they don't do SEO unless they're you know, getting $2,000 or $2,500 a month. Hey, great. More power to you if you can do it. That's just not how I had run my business. And I did quite well anyways. So, you know, I don't think that's bad at all. What do you guys think?
No, I agree.
Okay. Enough said. Did we get 10 replies?
Let's see. I was just flipping back over there. I think we're at 1, 2, 3.
That's correct. Wayne is absolutely
5,
right.
6, 7 or 8. Pretty close. Need a couple more.
Okay, that's cool. We got time. Does 301 redirecting powerful domains to a client site still work? Does it transfer power and rankings? Well, it does. However, I wouldn't redirect a non-relevant 301 domain directly to a client domain. I certainly wouldn't do that at all anymore. It may, as Marco will chime in, I'm sure, if it's powerful enough, then yeah, you could do it even if it's not relevant. But we're talking, you know, super numbers. And it's very difficult to find domains without paying thousands of dollars for them that have those kind of metrics where you can get away with that. So if you're going to do something that's super powerful that, you know, or powerful domain that's not relevant, I would redirect it to a buffer site that has relevant content to your target URL, and then has just a contextual link within the content of that post or page or whatever that's actually pointing to your money site, so that you're redirecting to the page with relevant content with a link to your money site from there. If that makes sense. So it's not a direct 301 to your money site. It goes through a buffer site that does have relevancy. That's where you inject the relevancy, if that makes sense. Marco, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, we call it art, right? At the end of the day, because that's what you're looking for. So what happens is you're going to get that expired domain, you're going to drop a link in there. And what's going to matter about that link is the activity that you get on that link, that you put on that PBN, relevance, and trust and authority. Yep. Now, you're much better off looking at the relevance. It has to be relevant. And then if you can get some activity going on that website, and Google will measure the activity through whatever links are on there, then that's going to push trust and authority back to your website. So everything kind of blends together. The activity, the relevance, and the trust and authority. If you break any of those three, it's less powerful. Why should Google give you any trust? Because we all focus on Google, right? That's the master right now. And so if Google, or if the website isn't giving you any trust and authority, or if it has none, then why should Google give you any? Same thing with activity. If that's a dead link, if it's just there is nothing happening on that PBN, then why should that be counted? Over time, we know that that's going to lose power. That link is going to get throttled, or it's actually going to be ignored. We
deprecated.
With Mike Pierce, right, last week in his group, we went over this a lot, and that's what you're looking for. And really, I mean, you don't even have to buy PBNs anymore.
Nope.
G sites. We do it with G sites.
Yeah.
And there's a really good training in RYS Academy about how to use G sites as a PBN. I mean, how you can power them up. That thanks to Brian Costello, who dropped that in. He also dropped it in the mastermind, by the way.
Yeah, and today on the Syndication Academy update webinar, I'm going to reveal what I can't show the property, but I set something up as a test with G sites about, I don't know, 2 months ago, and I've kind of left it alone, and it has produced amazing results that I'm going to share today, and it has to do with the Google site, and it's kind of a quasi RYS method. I'm not going to reveal too much, Marco, so don't hate me. But I'm going to give something away over there that's pretty damn powerful as well, that has to do with G sites. And so just listen to what Marco says, because guys, remember, Google sites are Google properties, so you can get away with murder with those. And then the other part of that is when he says, you know, the link can be deprecated if it doesn't have, you know, authority, relevancy, and traffic and trust. But that's one way that you can actually keep it from being deprecated, right, is to send traffic through the link. And there's ways to do that. In fact, stand by for a few more weeks, guys, because we're going to be you know, we're going to be shaking things up a bit with some new stuff coming out here soon. So for as far as traffic signals and stuff like that. So that's coming. I can't really announce too much of it right now, but just know that we've been working on something heavily for the past couple of months. We've invested a ton of money and a ton of manpower into it, and it's in beta for us right now, and it's going to be super powerful. So, all right, Adam, you said there was 10?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So, guys, I just want to talk about something really briefly, just a kind of a personal experience that I want to share with you guys, if that's okay with you. And apparently, we got 10 people said yes. So this would just take a minute, but I think it's pretty amazing the kind of results that I've seen from in my own personal growth over the last couple of years. And so I just want to preface this with, you know, this is just something that I found has worked really, really well for me, and I've kind of like had an epiphany on how to apply it to every aspect of my life, including business, obviously. And that's where I think it can benefit you guys. So in case you guys didn't know, I've been losing weight for the last couple of years. On August 7th, 2015, I decided to lose weight. I was 280 pounds. I was fucking obese. Sorry, pardon my bad language, but I was, and I was miserable. I hated myself. I didn't have very much self-esteem. You guys didn't know it probably because I was still teaching and everything, but I was had really low self-esteem at that time, and I just was miserable. And that was 2 years ago, 2 days ago. So it was 2 days ago was when I started 2 years ago, if that makes sense. So August 7th, 2015. And I just made a commitment at that time because I was fed up with how I felt and everything to lose weight, right? So I joined a gym and I committed to myself at the time 30 minutes a day, and it has progressed now. I go to about an hour and 15 minutes per day. I try to hit a minimum of 60 minutes every day of going to the, working out every day. But I made it a part of my daily routine, and I just committed to doing it. And I said, the only way that I'm going to get into shape is to commit and go all in, and no matter what, rain or shine, whether I feel good or bad, I don't care what's going on at work, business, whatever, I'm going to the gym every damn day, period, for at least 30 minutes. And like I said, it's progressed now where I go between 60 to 75 minutes every day. Well, I've lost, 2 days ago was my 2-year anniversary, and I lost 99 pounds on the money. I weigh 181 pounds. So I'm not telling you guys this for any weight loss stuff. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I've started to apply, like, I'm in better shape now than I ever thought that I would be in. In fact, when I wanted to lose weight 2 years ago, when I started to lose weight, I would have never imagined in a million years that I would be in the shape that I'm in now. I didn't think I could be in this shape because I've never been in this shape in my entire life. And I'm almost 39. I turn 39 next month. And actually a month from yesterday, I turned 39. And so I never thought that I'd be in this kind of shape. I didn't think it was possible to get in the kind of shape that I'm in now for me, because I've never been there. And so it wasn't, when I started my journey, it wasn't that I had set a goal to get in the shape that I'm in now, because I didn't even know that I could get into this level of shape. But I knew that I wanted to get into shape. And so, I originally set a goal where I said, I want to lose 50 pounds. I wanted to be around, 55 pounds. I wanted to be 225. And so once I hit that 225 mark, I said, well, shit, I'm just going to keep losing. I'm not going to stop now. So I kept going. And so my next goal was 200. So I hit 200 back in, I don't know, March or April, I think it was. I hit 200 and I said, okay, I'm just going to keep going. Well, now I'm at 181. And, so what I'm trying to get at with this, guys, again, this is not a weight loss thing. This is just about focusing on the process instead of the result, okay? Because I didn't even know what my result was going to be when I started. And so how can you apply this to business or to any other aspect of your life? One of the things I've talked about before, and I've mentioned this, guys, this is one of the most amazing things that I've ever picked up in my entire life. It's called the Best Self Journal. I know it's hard to see because the bright lights are reflecting on it, but it's called the Best Self Journal. Go to Amazon, pick it up. It's like 20 bucks, maybe 30 bucks, whatever. It doesn't matter what it costs. If it costs 500 bucks, get it because it's awesome. And what it is basically it's a journal that you can you write in every day. You put your goals down, and you have to develop a habit. And that's what I'm getting at with this whole speech, guys, is that I developed a habit to where now exercise and, is part of my daily routine, to where, like, there's no internal dialogue in my head anymore. I don't ever discuss or debate whether I'm going to go. I just go. It's automatic, period. Even if I don't feel good, which in the last 2 years, I haven't been sick once or anything else. My point is I go regardless because it's part of my routine. And so I have progressed way beyond where I ever would have imagined I would have been or had even desired to be, just because I've focused on the process and not the result. And I continue to improve on a daily basis. So since I've seen that happen in my own life, I've realized these changes are possible by just creating a daily habit and sticking to it and doing something every day, working towards a goal every day and focusing on the process and not the result. So in other words, like, we all want results. Most of us are goal oriented, especially as entrepreneurs, right? And we think about like an end result that we want. And that's great because that drives us towards that goal. However, if you focus on the result, then it's easy to get discouraged when roadblocks pop up, fires erupt that you got to go put out, life happens, all the things that happen that can get in the way of achieving the goal. Well, if you stop focusing on a result, so for example, I want 10 new agency clients by the end of August. Well, what happens if you don't hit those 10 agency clients? Then you get discouraged. I must not be good enough, or this doesn't work. And it's easy to talk yourself out of working towards that goal because you didn't achieve a hard result that you put down, that you set up for yourself. In other words, But if you focus on the process, which is what are the daily activities that I need to do that would get me to 10 by the end of the month, even if I don't hit that number, as long as I'm focusing on that process and making sure that I'm doing my daily activities and I've made it a habit, then I know that I'm moving towards that goal, even if I don't hit it by the date that I'd set for myself. And so the reason I'm telling you that, guys, is because I started to apply that same strategy about 4 months ago now with this daily journaling. I've never done that. I've always thought it was stupid, to be honest with you, to journal. Like, I just thought, I'm not doing that shit, you know, like I know what I want to do and all that, and just arrogance, the ego, you know, all that kind of stuff. Well, I started using this self-journal, best self-journal, and it keeps my goals in front of me every day. And I've worked it into my daily habit, my daily routine. I wake up at 4:30 every day now. And at 5 a.m., from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., I plan my day. And I spend about the first 15 minutes meditating, believe it or not, which I used to think that was hocus pocus bullshit. But I meditate every day now because it helps me to focus. It helps me to visualize my goals, which then as soon as I finish meditating, then I write in my journal and I plan my day out. And it takes me 15 to 20 minutes every single day to plan my day out. But then I have my entire day planned out, and it makes me so much more productive. And it keeps me focused on the task at hand and keeps all the distractions and all the shiny objects and everything. It's like putting blinders on. You don't see any of that crap. And I'm not saying this to brag, guys, or say I'm better than anybody else. I'm saying this because I'm seeing the power of developing habits and sticking with stuff. And, you know, and I just wanted to kind of impart that to you guys, because I think it's really, really important as entrepreneurs. Guys, I know we're opportunity seekers. That's why we're entrepreneurs. And it's so easy to get distracted. And we also are always looking for the next, you know, the next opportunity that's going to get us to where we want to be, when most of the time we already have the opportunity in front of us, and we just need to focus in on something and practice it on a, you know, on a daily basis to where it becomes routine. It's like muscle memory. You just do over and over and over again, and you'll start to see results. And that's really what I wanted to share with you guys just for a few minutes. I hope that didn't take too much time. Comment on the page and let me know what you think. Okay. And you guys, Adam or Marco, you guys want to comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'll just say 100%. You know, I'm on the journal stuff, drinking the Kool-Aid. I thought it was stupid. You know, about 2 years ago, I'd never done it. And even doing daily reviews was something I didn't do until a few years ago. Adding both of those into mind, the most important for me being not the journal, right? That's the tool to do it, but sitting down every day and planning out my day. And also one of the most impossible tasks I've ever set in front of myself was to keep track of my day for a week in 30-minute increments. And I have never been able to do that, but just by doing that, showed me how much time I had available and how much time I was kind of, you know, using frivolously. And combining that with kind of the deep work principles of like working in time blocks and eliminating the mental shifts of putting out fires has really helped me get a lot more done. And, you know, one of my goals, I think I'm a little bit different. Like, I get up a little bit later, but I don't want to work 18-hour days. I want to be incredibly focused, and I want to get in, I want to do my work, and then allow some time for strategic, top level, high level things. And then I want to be done. You know, that doesn't mean that I never work at night or anything like that. But, you know, the type of life I want to lead, I want to, you know, go do other things. So I enjoy running. I go take trips. I want to, you know, do more traveling in the future. And in order to do that stuff, you've got to be really productive. And I think this is one of the best ways to do it.
Yeah, awesome. I agree that you have to be productive. The way that I do it and the way that I've always done it is Google Calendar, but that's just because I spend so much time in front of the computer doing stuff. And so it has the reminders. And so, yeah, I set it up, however much time I set up for myself, it's all run by the calendar. I get a pop-up, and this is what you need to do next. I get another pop-up, this is coming up. And so that's constantly on. So that's how I'm as productive as possible during the time that I'm sitting in front of the computer. Because other times, like, I just want to be with my family and kids, and we have stuff that we need to do and we need to get done. But yeah, when I'm on the computer, it's Google Calendar and reminders, and I mean, it helps me.
It's awesome. One more thing about that. I just finished this book over the weekend. It's a short, it's a good, well, actually, I'm not going to lie. I listened to it on audiobook on Audible, but I liked it so much that I actually bought the paperback. It just came in the mail from Amazon yesterday. It's by Justin Ledford. Great book. It's about visualization, meditation, and how to improve productivity and all that kind of stuff. Guys, I used to think that was hocus pocus garbage, guys, but I'm seeing the results in my own life, and it's astounding. And because of that, I point this book out. This is based upon psycho-cybernetics. And if you guys want to look up that as well, psycho-cybernetics is kind of like where personal development began from back in the 1960s. And that is a much more thorough explanation of like how to use creative visualization and such. But it's a lot more of it's a more complex read. This is a much simpler read that basically imparts the principles. So I'm just saying, for those of you that are kind of sciencey and geeky, then go with the Psycho-Cybernetics book. If you guys are just want something that's easier to read, to give you kind of like the principles and stuff of visualization and how you can use it for your own life and your own business, I recommend this book. And again, you can get it as an audiobook, which is what I did, but I liked it so much I bought the paperback. So, all right, I'm going to keep moving, guys. Sorry about that. I hope that didn't go off in too much of a tangent, but I think that was important, and I wanted to share it with you. So, all right, so Bronx Roofer is up. He says, if a client has a lot of reviews on one platform, let's say Home Advisor, how do you leverage that maximal? Make a new page on a website called reviews and add copy paste all in there. Use schema. I'm not familiar with how the Home Advisor reviews work because I don't spend much time on that site, but I would think you could even iframe your listing onto your page, your Home Advisor page into your web page. What do you think, Marco?
Anything can be iframed, right? Unless they have an iframe breaker. So that would be one way. I'm not familiar with how it works, so please excuse me. I haven't been in Home Advisor in years, but I would say try to find a way. You know, there's usually a sharing tab somewhere where so that you can share your reviews or whatever in social media. If they have that, you should be able to iframe.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's in kind of what well, we're going to be talking a little bit about that in Syndication Academy Web with the G site trick that I'm going to telling the guys. But as far as schema, yeah, you can do that as well. Now, if you're going to actually create, like basically copy and paste the review onto your site, first of all, I would check the terms of service from Home Advisor though. I'd be careful with that because that could be their property of Home Advisor, and you could get in trouble for like copying and pasting. I don't know that to be true. I'm just saying I would look into it. But if you are going to actually add the review text instead of like an iframe, then I would say, yeah, you can actually absolutely mark that up with schema, which you should, because then you get all the, the review, you can get the review stars to show that kind of stuff. Okay, but I would definitely check. There's also something else. Damn it, I can't remember I was looking at this the other day. There was a plugin that I found. It's not for Home Advisor, but there was a suite of plugins. Shit, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but the Google Reviews plugin. Let me try that real quick. Let me see if I can find it. I found this plugin the other day, and I started messing with it for one of my client sites. Let's see if this is it. I think, yeah, this is it, by Rich Plugins. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Now, again, this isn't for Home Advisor, but I started playing with the free version of this, and it's good enough, guys. This is called richplugins.com. So the free versions are very stripped down. They don't give you very many customization options, but these are really, really cool. And they add with the pro version, which like I said, I haven't picked it up yet because I've been really, really busy, but I'm definitely going to buy these. Because it adds the Google Rich snippets right to the reviews, and you don't have to copy and paste shit. And again, it's not for Home Advisor, but for those of you guys that have clients that are doing review stuff, and it's really important, you should be doing that. You should be encouraging your clients to solicit for reviews, help them set up review solicitation campaigns if you need to, because guys, reviews absolutely help, not just with SEO, but they help with converting visitors into leads and or buyers or customers, right? And so I recommend that you should be making it a point to guiding your clients into getting more reviews and in publishing those reviews. And these types of like this plugin, Rich Plugins here, has the schema automatically added to it. You can create carousels, you can do all kinds of stuff with it, and it's really, really cool. And you can get the whole single site bundle for $90. which is, you know, not bad at all, because again, that's a cost you pass off to your client, guys. It's not something you pay for. You pass it off to your client. But I would recommend doing that and picking it up, because again, both Google, Yelp, and Facebook reviews, all of those can actually be worked right into the website, which is going to help with SEO as well as converting visitors into either leads or customers. Okay, so definitely check that out. I found that to be really, really cool. All right, keep moving. Okay, Francisco's up. He says, I'm a newbie in the backlinking SEO world. I'm planning to create a PBN to one of my sites. How many backlinks do I need to create per day to rank natural for high competition keyword? Francisco, I wish I could give you a number, but there is absolutely no way I could tell you, because I don't have enough data. It's going to be unique to every single keyword and every situation. And so there's really no way for me to tell you, because again, a high competition keyword could only take you 5 links per day. It could take you 1 link per week. It could take you 300 links per day. I have no idea. There's no way for me to tell you that. Marco,
I would tell him to go to Syndication Academy. Check out Syndication Academy. Right? Don't we have a trial through, you know, get the battle plan, get the trial, take a look. Because I mean, what you're asking is how to rank. You can't rank for a high competition keyword unless you set up the groundwork, right?
Right.
I mean, we're talking organically. It's nearly impossible to start right out and say, I am going to rank for, I don't know, gold futures, and set out and rank for gold futures in you know, unless you just have a really huge budget and you can buy that high power website right from the start. And you're going to need millions of dollars, right? It's not going to take $1,000. It's not going to happen. So rather than concentrate on that high competition keyword, go after what we always say is go after the low hanging fruit. There's tons of keywords that you can go after and rank for. And you can, this strategy that you're talking about, expired domains, Web 2.0 properties, a video, and social posts, well, syndication. That's Syndication Academy, not in the way that's set out in the battle plan, but that's what I see from the last sentence. His strategy is 13 expired domains, Web 2.0 properties, a video, and some social posts. And if that doesn't sound like Syndication Academy to you guys, I don't know what does. Yeah. So if you're not already in there, go check it out. If you don't have the battle plan, you need to check that out.
Yeah, not only that, but you know, we impart in the monthly webinars, Francisco, which you'll get access to all the update webinars that have already been recorded, so all the archives and everything. As far as I know, even on the trial, am I right, guys, in that? Am I right in saying that?
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
Even the webinar, the update webinar archives are available on the $1 trial.
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, Francisco, I would say get in there and check it out, because like today we're having in about 20 minutes, we're going to do the Syndication Academy update webinar for August of 2017. And I'm going to be imparting some wisdom that, it would definitely help. There's no doubt. So, get in there. You can catch the replay from today once you get in. So go check it out. And, it's what Marco said is absolutely true. I mean, we build Web 2 networks with Syndication Academy strategy, right? Or methods. And then we theme those networks because we are updating we're constantly feeding content to those networks that are themed and relevant to your project. And so it's just very, very powerful. It adds the foundation that Marco was just mentioning, right? We validating the entity. We're claiming our footprint, not hiding it. It's a different strategy than the typical traditional SEO. And it's been working for years, and it just seems like it's only becoming stronger because of how Google is, what Marco mentioned earlier. It's all about authority and trust and relevancy, right? Authority, relevancy, and trust and traffic. Okay, so all right, up again. He says, question about RYS: if client's website is stuck on page 2, I usually just point more PBN links, add content, throw signals, and pray. That's funny.
That's funny.
That's what most SEOs do, buddy.
Plus fun.
That's what most SEOs do. Will drive stacks really help in a timely manner? It's very possible. Look, I can tell you that it's likely that if you're at the top of page 2 or whatever, like you said, stuck on page 2, a well done drive stack, which means like if you hire us to do it, you can go through the course and do it yourself too. It's very time consuming, I'll tell you that. But like our guy, Jessen, he's a freaking machine. Like it's very likely that you'd pop to page 1 from it. But again, I don't have enough detail to be able to tell you. So, Marco, you want to comment on that?
No, I agree with you totally. But stuck on page 2 is a really good signal that it can be pushed into page 1. It depends on the competition, what else you do to the drive stack. Like you can't just get a drive stack, throw it up, and expect it to push if you have really high competition. Although generally over time, if people just leave it alone, if they would just learn to leave it alone, it happens, man. And it just, once it pops, and it'll just keep rising and rising and rising. We have some awesome testimonials of people who are currently in RYS Academy, and I think we're going to put those on our YouTube channel so that they're available for you guys so you can see what people are actually doing inside RYS Academy, the success that they're having. And I didn't know, like, they were really quiet. They were in the shadows, lurking and just soaking up the knowledge, right? And going and taking it and just using it to rank. It's awesome. I know someone that used my map trick. I'm not going to go through it here, but she told me that her properties went from page 3 and 4 to page 1 just by adding that little power loop that I always talk about inside the group. And so I would say more likely yes than no, but you might have to do a little bit more. It all depends. As with anything in SEO, it depends on the competition and how closely Google monitors that specific niche. It depends.
But the beautiful thing about the drive stacks, guys, and G Sites is part of that, is that you can get away with murder. Like, it's insane what you can do as far as like all the rules about spamminess are out the window. Because I mean, now I try to still make them. And we don't. I say I try. I don't even make them anymore. Our guy Jessen, he makes them look freaking beautiful, anyways. But there's so much that you can throw spam at them. You can. I mean, what was the one test you guys did with over 1 million backlinks?
I can't say what it was, but
I know you can't say the niche, but it was well over 1 million backlinks, right?
Yeah, it was a major metropolitan area. It was just a very high competition keyword, and we threw 1 million. It wasn't just 1 million backlinks; it was 1 million garbage backlinks purposely. I told Dedia, we have a Dedia for link building, and I told him, look, all bets are off. Don't worry about a clean list. I don't care where you get the links from. He even threw porn at it.
Yep.
And it took it like a champ. And now we're ranking in the 3-pack. I told you.
Yep.
I think the guy had to remove one of his phones or stop getting calls on that phone because he was just overloaded with phone calls.
The dude cut his phone off because he couldn't handle as many calls as he was getting. That's awesome.
It was beautiful.
All right, CJ's up. He says, I have a friend who does interviews with local people in the entertainment and fashion industry. She has her own YouTube channel but doesn't have many videos posted. How can I best use IFTTT to promote her videos? Well, first of all, CJ, that's the perfect opportunity for Syndication Academy or syndication networks. Whether you join the academy or not, I could care less, honestly. But just get syndication networks built. We recommend buying them from us, but obviously you can do it yourself or whatever. But connect with especially with YouTube channels. There's not footprint issues. There hasn't been thus far. And I don't suspect that there will be in the future either, because you're just acting as a publisher for Google when you're syndicating YouTube videos. So what I would recommend is building out a massive broadcast network, is what I like to call them. So they're just syndication networks, but for video, I call them broadcasting networks, and stack them onto her channel. And I'm talking about multiple tier 1s and multiple tier 2 levels as well, because like we've got the new agency that we're building or that we're working on right now. I've got 94 IFTTT syndication networks. I don't have them all connected yet. I think we're at like 45 or 50 now that are actually connected in various ways. But it's becoming super powerful. I just posted another video to that channel today, and it ranked on page 1 like that. I'm not kidding. Within like 13 seconds, it was up, and it's a rather competitive keyword. So anyways, I'm just saying it's very, very powerful. YouTube channels, you can stack. We had somebody tell us that they build networks with like 1,000 properties in them, and like multiple tiers out, 3 and 4 tiers out. I don't like to be that complex with it, because when something breaks down, it makes it difficult to find where. I like to keep it to 2-tier maximum, but you can get away with so many networks on there. So that would be number one. Let's see, I'm thinking about using snippets of the interviews and creating playlists with the relevant keywords. Yeah, that would work too. Guys, you should be using playlists, because playlists is how you silo your YouTube channels. You can build silo architecture silo structure, excuse me, into YouTube channels using playlists. So if you haven't, CJ, if you don't already have YouTube Silo Academy, it's an old course that I put together, like, I don't know, 3 years ago now, I think. And in fact, on the YouTube Silo Academy sales page, you'll see how fat I was because I was 280 pounds when I recorded that sales video. But just go, if you haven't picked it up, it's like $7, man. And you can learn how to actually use playlists as well. Okay. So, but yeah, that's a great strategy. Just, build a bunch of syndication networks. If she has existing YouTube videos that have not been syndicated, you can set up using the like applets. There's instructions for that inside of Syndication Academy. And then you can actually just go like those videos and it will syndicate across those networks as well. That's another way you can do it. All right. We've got only about 10 minutes left, guys. I want to try to roll through some of these, because I know we didn't get to very many. Brian says, can you please explain why G sites work? Because they're Google properties, Brian. Are they additional landing pages? They can be. The nice thing about Google sites, especially the new version, is they can be made to look really nice. Jessen does an amazing job for us in building out drive stacks that look great, G sites especially. But yeah, they can be additional landing pages. The other thing, remember, Brian, is you can push competitors off of page 1 with them, right? And you can create the templates. You can create templates for both the new and the old G sites that are beautiful. So it's just a matter of what you want to do. In fact, if you're not real good with that kind of stuff, which I'm not, you can hire that out on Upwork, right? You can find somebody that can create beautiful designs. They can even model. A lot of the times they can model the G sites templates. Like, they can create custom themes basically that can match like client properties, client websites and such, so that when you build them and you use them to start ranking those as well and pushing competitors off, the theming, right? So the graphical theme, like, they'll still look the same. The branding will be the same as what the main websites look like, the money sites. Okay. Having a hard time understanding the relevance. Again, it's just because it's a Google property. You can use it to your advantage. You can get away with murder with them. They rank really well, and you can make them look nice. Mohammed's up. He says, hey, guys, is there an advantage to choosing instant embeds in Maps Powerhouse versus posting them over time? I don't think so, Mohammed. I prefer to drip feed everything, both in Maps Powerhouse and Video Powerhouse, whenever I'm doing any sort of embed project or campaign. I always do it on a drip schedule. I usually only do about 50 embeds to start in either Video Powerhouse or Maps Powerhouse, and I drip it out over 7 or 14 days. And then I check the results. Usually 14 to 21 days later is when I go back and check results. And if I need to do another embed run, I will. But I usually start with 50 embeds, guys. I do secondary embeds too. I always do secondary embeds. But and I always try to niche it down into the particular, the most specific category. But I always start off with just 50, so I'm not burning up a ton of credits. And a lot of the times I end up getting the results that I need 2 or 3 weeks later from just the 50 embeds. Right? So, okay, I asked this in the Syndication Academy Facebook group, but I didn't get an answer yet, so I thought I'd ask here. Mohammed, I answered that question today, believe it or not, in the Facebook group, but I'll answer it here for everyone else's benefit as well. He says, in the Rank Feeder bonus webinar last week, BB advised to have our RSS feeds submitted to aggregators. I had 2 RSS feeds after following the steps, the Rank Feeder feed and the FeedBurner one. I wasn't sure which one to submit for the Fiverr gig, so I chose the Rank Feeder feed. Should I have done the FeedBurner feed instead? If so, could I just pay again and have that one done? Yeah, and that's what I said. Submit both. Now, if you don't want to spend the extra $5, then it just grab one or the other. It doesn't matter. If you don't mind spending the $5, I'd say submit both. But if you only want to spend $5, it really doesn't matter. Pick one or the other. The only reason why the FeedBurner feed, I like to use the FeedBurner feed, is because once again, it's another Google property. So you're actually adding a little bit of Google authority by running it through FeedBurner. But either one will do. If you can afford it or you don't mind spending the money, submit both. Okay. One thing I really suck at when selling all these cool services I learned from SM is explaining them, specifically a syndication network. How do you guys hype your clients when selling networks? Well, Mohammed, unless I'm talking to a customer, client, whatever, that, hold on a minute. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I just thought I heard somebody beating at my door. Shit, give me a minute.
All right, I can take this while you go.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll let you. You can answer it. Go ahead.
All right. Don't concentrate on explaining all of this unless your client is really sophisticated with SEO and online marketing and everything else.
That's right.
Concentrate on the result. That's where how you will affect your client's bottom line. Will they see a change, a positive change, of course, in the bottom line? That's it. That's your pitch. How you do it is why you're being hired. You're not being hired to explain SEO. You're being hired to get the client results.
That's right.
And so once you start concentrating on results, you don't have to worry about a certain keyword that the client wants to rank for. You don't have to worry about a million headaches that can come up because you're providing results. And it's that simple.
Definitely. Yeah, just keep in mind that what's the benefit to them and frame it in that way. And if you're not sure, imagine you're them and somebody's talking to you. What do you care about? Do you care that you're getting embeds and 7 embeds and 13 backlinks, or do you care that your content's being syndicated, you're not doing it by hand, it's automated, and it's giving you X, Y, and Z results? Right. So just frame it, put it to them and their benefit, not yours.
The problem that most people have, guys, and I suffered from the same, the same problem, is that because we focus on the features and not the benefits. Right. So we focus on how many backlinks and how many embeds and what position we're in this Google SERPs and that kind of stuff. That's what we focus on because that's what we do. But the clients, the customers, all they want is their damn phone to ring or foot traffic, right? People to come in their place of business. That's all they care about. And so unless you're talking to somebody that wants to know the details, the methods, don't talk about the methods. I don't. I just talk about the results that I can provide. And if somebody specifically asks about the methods, then I don't want to sound arrogant here, but I try to dumb it down to where I'm not talking about backlinks. I try not to use SEO terms. Okay. Because a lot of the times, as soon as you start doing that, you confuse people, and then, confusion causes indecision. Like, people don't decide, they won't take action. So let me see. Yeah, I know, Adam. I wish we had another 20 minutes. I
can, well, I don't know. We shouldn't. You've got the webinar. We can't do that.
Yeah. Let's roll through another one or two real quick, and then I'll answer that one because you asked me to. Terry says, so hopefully that answers your question, Mohammed. Is just, don't focus on that. Talk more about the results that it can provide. Say, look, we set up these networks that broadcast your content all across the web, that can bring in traffic, can also help you to show up better, your exposure in Google search, as well as the other search engines like Bing and social media sites where there's traffic, that kind of stuff. You talk about the results, not the method. Okay. That's my best strategy. One more thing, guys, another great book that helped me a lot when it comes to this kind of stuff is it's called Spin Selling. Go check it out on Amazon. It's called Spin Selling. It's a great way to talk to customers or clients, prospects, whatever, and ask them questions during your proposal or your pitch that essentially they end up answering the questions in a way that you lead them to where they think that they've made the decision themselves, if that makes sense. It's a great book. All right. Terry says, I have a proposal on Friday with a chiropractor for SEO. He's not happy with who has been in charge of his sites, not on first page and not getting me leads from it. My issue is that he's moving his office and doing a name change. He said the projected date is the end of November, but these dates get pushed back. How would you handle SEO in this case? I'm assuming that it would be best to go with a new site, new domain when he moves. I agree, Terry. I do, because I think you're better off. My thought is to build links as usual as to the old site, but not do anything with citations until the change goes through, then hit citations hard and duplicate content to new site and 301 redirect. Yes, that's a good strategy. Does that make sense? Are citations and AP the only thing that gets screwed up on that? Have prominently on new site, old name has changed to new name. Just not sure how to handle. Yeah, that's what I would do. Is I would basically, set up on a new domain, because it's going to have a new address as well. I don't know if the phone number will stay the same. It would be nice if you could change the phone number as well. I'm assuming the business name is going to stay the same. Oh, he's also doing a name change. Okay, well then I'm hoping you're going to get a unique phone number as well. I would start as if it were a brand new from scratch business, and then you can use the existing, even though it's not producing any results anyways. But there's still got to. Well, I don't know. You'd have to look at it, but it may be a harmful site. In other words, if the SEO was done very, very poorly, then I wouldn't want to redirect it to the new site. But you have to determine that. But if there is some SEO value in the old site at all, then redirecting to the new one would be a good thing. Otherwise, you can just abandon it if you're not going to use it anymore, right? If there's no SEO value in the old site, which only you can determine that, then there's no reason to redirect it to the new one. Just abandon it, like take the site down, right? And you can always go into Google Maps and tell them that the place is closed permanently. The only reason why you would want a 301 redirected is because it has SEO value. All right. Shit. I really wanted to get to the other question, guys. I'm really sorry. It's unfortunate. I wanted to talk about my post right here as well, guys. I did this with this is a lead gen site I set up. Believe it or not, with no syndication network, no drive stack, nothing. It's just a one-page site, guys, and all I've been doing is press releases. And look at this. This is from inside of Bright Local. Like, this site of mine is crushing it right now. And it's a local site ranked in 3-pack one-page site that all I've done is press releases, guys. It's really, really cool. So last thing I'm going to answer, guys, and in 3 minutes, the Syndication Academy webinar starts. What recently had done, sorry for you guys I missed in the middle, but Adam said he wanted me to answer this. Recently had done for you RYS. What can be edited in the drive? Anything, Kevin. Some things need to be corrected. Just want to keep in mind, Kevin, I want to point this out, that as we mentioned earlier today on this webinar, drive stacks, because they're Google properties, you can get away with murder. So what I would suggest is, even if you found maybe some grammatical errors or something like that, I wouldn't spend your time in there fixing that kind of stuff, because it won't provide any value or benefit. Unless it's a public facing something or another, and it's because you don't want it to look bad for the business or the brand, that, if it's like spelling errors or something like that, that people are going to see, but they're not going in and correcting a few things like that. And I don't know what the problem is. I'm just stating that for everybody's benefit, that if it's just something like that, I wouldn't spend my time in there, because it's not going to produce any results. Spend your time on stuff that produces results, not on busy work like nitpicky stuff. Now, and again, Kevin, I'm not saying that that's nitpicking. I don't know what the problems are. I'm just telling you that if they're insignificant, don't do them. Leave them. Because on Google Drive properties, you can get away with incredibly spammy stuff. All right. Can keywords be added or deleted? Yes. You have access. You should have gotten access when the stack was delivered. So add yourself as a manager. Add your main Kevin Porter profile as a manager.
Hey, Brad.
Excuse me. Share it with and Drive with you, and then you can access it from your own account. Go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, that's the set of instructions that he gets with the stack. They have a detailed set of instructions that tells them exactly what they need to do, how to log in, how to look at, the workbook, everything. Okay.
How long should you wait before stacking? I don't know. I haven't done a whole lot of drive stack stacking, because usually I get the results from one. But as Marco said, a lot of times, guys, you just got to be patient, build the stack, wait. You can hit it with links and stuff like that, but just let it sit and settle for a few weeks, because a lot of the times the drive stacks will gain in strength over time, even if you don't do anything else to them. So, a lot of the times you'll achieve the results you want with only one. And if in a couple months you haven't seen it, I know we're all impatient, Kevin, I get it. But a lot of the times you'll overkill it and it's unnecessary. All right. What is the difference when stacking? We got to go, man. It's 5 o'clock. What is different when stacking RYS? It's just adding additional drive accounts, different drive folders, all of that. It's just reinforcing one stack with another. What is the cost of another RYS for stacking? It's the cost that, if you're buying them from us, it's the same cost. If you're doing it yourself, it's just the amount. It's just more time. Okay.
All right. Real quick before we hop off, Kevin Alexander, hopefully you're still watching. We saw that you asked your question. It's really good. And you're also in the mastermind. So I'm going to copy that question over. The mastermind webinar is tomorrow. I should have gotten an email today kind of advising you about that. If you didn't, please post in the mastermind or send an email to support@semanticmastery.com. Let me know. We'll get you sorted out. Also, August 28th, RYS Reloaded. We'll have some more information coming real soon about that. And if you're in the Syndication Academy, the update webinar is obviously taking place right now after we get out of here. And we'll be, what's that?
No, right now.
Oh, yeah. But we'll be posting that link in the Facebook group, right?
Yep. Well, the link's in the Facebook group, guys. Just go click on the events tab, and the link's already there. Just click on the in the events tab in Facebook group, and then go down to the description area, and you'll see the Google event page URL. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for being here. Sorry for the questions that didn't get answered, guys. Either post them for next week or post them in one of the relevant groups, and we'll try to get to them there. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.